Now that lawmakers have ended the partial government shutdown, the clock is ticking on DHS funding. Democrats are expected to unveil their proposed changes today, while Border Czar Tom Homan has announced a drawdown of ICE agents in Minnesota. NTD's Melina Weisskopf joins us live. Good morning, Melina. Where do negotiations stand at the moment?
Hey, good morning, Steph. Good to see you again. It's been quite some time.
It has.
So negotiations are at the very beginning stages right now. Yeah. Lawmakers do need to reach a deal by February 13th. That's next week. But they are acknowledging already that this is not going to be an easy task, Steph, because of how sensitive the immigration issue is to both sides of the aisle. Democrats, like you mentioned, unveiled a list on paper with their demands. Today, that official bill language is expected to be unveiled. But their demands that were on paper track with everything that we've heard verbally so far from their side of the aisle. Things like asking agents to remove their masks and requiring them to show their ID numbers. They also want to expand judicial warrants and to protect sensitive locations. I'll let you listen quickly to what Senator Schumer yesterday when they unveiled their demands.
There are certain places they shouldn't be able to go in: churches, synagogues, schools, election places. There should be no racial profiling.
Now, while Republicans have said they are open to certain changes, there are certain sticking points on the Republican side. For example, many Republicans have been weary of the request on the masks and the ID issue because they say that this would create a level of exposure that could allow criminals to target agents and their families. Here's Speaker Johnson as well as Pete Sessions, another Republican from Texas.
Because unlike your local law enforcement in your hometown, ICE agents are being doxxed and targeted. We have evidence of that. Everybody knows that is happening.
A professional conduct on duty, but not to be harassed when they go back home or their families. So I think that correspondingly it would be a fair thing.
Now, as for the judicial warrants, Steph, there's also strong pushback from at least House Speaker Mike Johnson on this because he said multiple times that expanding these judicial warrants would create more red tape and bureaucracy and ultimately slow enforcement efforts. So the fact that Republicans are already sort of drawing red lines on issues like this is going to be interesting to see where negotiations go from here because it's looking like there's already very little give and take from both sides of the aisle, Steph.
So, Melina, do you think that the Trump administration's drawdown of some agents in Minnesota will be enough to pave the way for a quick bipartisan plan?
I think it's possible, but lawmakers say that it will be difficult, even so much as Senate Leader John Thune yesterday saying that they may need even to have a full-year funding bill, a full-year continuing resolution for the Department of Homeland Security to give ample time for these negotiations to unfold. He said that he long opposed the 2-week deadline. Listen to Thune.
I had argued at the time was way too short to allow anything consequential to happen. What I hope it doesn't devolve into is something that, makes it harder, not easier, to deport and detain dangerous illegal aliens in this country.
So with the Trump administration going ahead and taking these actions with Border Czar Tom Homan, with requiring them to already wear body cameras, removing those agents from Minnesota, that could enable, open a pathway for Democrats to be more open to what Republicans are willing to negotiate here. But I think ultimately you could face a math issue because remember, both chambers have a very slim majority, which means that at any one time there could be just one lawmaker holding up these negotiations and stopping them in their tracks, Steph.
Yeah, certainly looks like it could be down to the wire. Thanks so much for your updates this morning. NTD congressional correspondent Melina Weisskopf.